There it is. I'm going live. Hello, Mr. Ed here. And today is August 13th, Sunday, August the 13th. I just got back from going to Mass here at the Abbey. And I told Mona this morning, I said, I think I'm going to go live this morning because I've been dealing with all this hot weather. And now it's turned not only just the hot, but it's also a drought. And that's why I kind of wanted to hit on that subject today and ask you all how things are going out in your bee yards, how things are going. So that's really what I'd hey, good morning, Rodney. So Rodney, tell me, how are your bees doing right now in this dearth and the heat? Hey, Michael, good morning. Michael Stein, good morning. Yeah, so that's the question. I mean, I look at mine and they seem to be, everything looks on the outside fine. I mean, there's activity. I check the weight of them because I don't go inside of them. Good morning, Annette. Good to hear from you. I don't go into the boxes. I'm too worried about opening up, letting loose the hive beetles when I do that. So I really don't have any gauge to look at the bees other than the weight of the hive and activity on the front. And that's, other than that, I'm pretty much, in the dark. Now, I'm putting plenty of water out for them. That's really what I was kind of expecting to hear most people saying about Keitha McLeod. Good morning, Keitha. Whether they're putting water out for it. And Hash Buzz Humstead. Hey, Mr. Jennifer from West Georgia. Hello, Jennifer. Michael Esp in hot Texas, but there's still things blooming. Yeah, there are some things. The bees are coming in with some kind of nectar. They're doing fairly good. We've got rain about every other day. Mike said, y'all are kind of dry. Yeah, we are. Russell, good morning. Good morning. Yappy, I just sent you a comment this morning. Love that video you just posted, Yappy. Man, I wish that would have been a great one for all of us to be on that. Because golly, we actually did a video with JP, Shawi, Dirt Rooster, me, and Good Time Charlie, where we came across the very similar situation that you had. I think we found 15 or 18 queen cells in that one, and we had queens coming out on it. It was just an amazing sight. So it was almost like I was reliving that one when I was watching your video. Yappy. Good morning, Jeff from North Carolina. Just feed this morning. It's hot here too. Yeah. So actually, Jeff, I'll be going to New Barnes, North Carolina. New Barnes, North Carolina in March. In March, I'll be there as a speaker for the one of the conferences there. Finn 57. Good morning, Sherry Cheney. Good morning, Sherry. Wild Bill from hot Arizona. Good morning to you too. Hey, what's the temperature over there right now, Bill? Because right now we're about 94, I think right now. 94, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Michael Tangy, 68 in Vermont. Oh, that's nice. Wow. Micah, my pond is almost dried up. Oh yeah. Fish all my catfish, put them in stock. Oh my goodness. That's one thing that all of our ponds are, even here at the Abbey, they are just shrinking. Jeff Jeffers, good morning. Good morning, Jeff. They're just shrinking. I know the ponds in the back are down about 4 feet, maybe even more than that. The one right here on the side of the wood shop right here, it's down about 1.5 feet or 2 foot. And yesterday, what I was doing is the thumbnail that I have for this video right now, I was going around trying to look at all the water holes that are around here and shoot the bees that were on it. And that picture that I used for the thumbnail Oh, thank you, Annette. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. Um, uh, God bless you too, Annette. Thank you very much. Mama Bear. Oh, look at you. Good morning, Luke. Good morning, North Pennsylvania. At man, 130-year-old church. Man, what's the temperature up there in Pennsylvania right now, Luke? James Barron. Someone told me not to feed pollen sub without also feeding syrup now. Thoughts? Uh, I don't feed the bees. Whatever they've got, they've got. So I'm not really the right person. That's a Mike, world famous Mike Berry question for him to ask. But with the temperatures being so hot as they are in Texas, golly, I would be so afraid of the hive beetles getting on that stuff. But that's just me, and I really don't know. I have 50 bees around my hummingbird feeder. Yeah, I could believe that. They're in the dirt. The bees are going after any kind of sugar that they can get. Terry Spence, thanks, Terry. Middle Tennessee. Thanks for joining in this morning, Terry. I do appreciate it, as well as all of y'all, man. I mean, y'all have something. It's 82 in Pennsylvania. Golly. It's about 73 in northeastern Pennsylvania. So, um, I would think that on Sunday morning most people are doing anything but watching YouTube. But I do appreciate y'all taking the time. Hey, James from Michigan. The trees are dropping leaves and it's fall around here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, our trees around here are dropping leaves too, but it's because there's no water. We haven't we get rain periodically because we get isolated. Morning, Larry. Mine are drinking about a half a gallon of sugar water every day now. Wow, and Larry, you're in Virginia. That's right, Virginia. Pollination. Robo Dude from New Zealand. All right, got one all the way on the other side of the world from us. What time is it over there right now, Robo? What time is it? 5:55. Bead Man, Bread Man. Good morning, Jeff from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Wow, man, there's a lot of people watching right now. How many people are watching right now? Does it say? No, it doesn't say. That's man, oh man, that's awesome, people. Thank you so much. James Barron. Sherry, the bees aren't usually aggressive at all unless they're protecting their hive. Rodney, what's 73? I must have missed something. Red Horse. Good morning from Toledo, Ohio. Wow. Jose, we are getting ready for spring in the great land of Australia. I knew you were down there, Jose. I knew that was you from just heading to bed. So what time is it? Scott, good morning from Pearl River. That's right down the road. Scott, have you ever come to the Abbey? If you ever do, in the description of this video, all the information is there if you want to get in touch with me to make a visit down there. 77 people watching. All right, good. Thank you, Mom. Jeff needs more likes. I always do like to have those likes because that's one of the things I get to throw up in the Dirt Rooster's face. Yeah, how many did you get? So Yappy, I'm glad that you're out there watching too, and I'd love to do a video. We will do a video with Yappy one day, folks. He's so far away from Rooster and JP and Shawi. He's probably about 6 hours away. Silver Tracks, good morning, Senor Ed. You woke me up. How can I wake you up? Russell Caskill, morning, Houston, but a home of transplant. Man, your little Cajun stuff down there. So this morning, that's really what my question was. I was really wanting to know about how your bees are doing in this drought. We're in a drought. Our rain, we're lucky if we get the afternoon rain showers. Good morning, Cajun Homestead. Did Shawi stop making videos? Shawi never really did make videos. He was always just a tag along guy, but golly, whenever he tags along, he puts spice in the videos, that's for sure. 2:10 in the morning. Thanks, Robo. Golly, you need to go to bed, but thanks for dropping in. Hey, good morning, Tommy. Southwest Missouri. In fact, I'll be headed up to St. Louis. That's in February. I'll be going back up to St. Louis. I know that the Dirt Rooster's up there right now. He was at a conference. Let's see, it was Corey Stevens, the Dirt Rooster, Nathan from Duck River. Who else was up there? Justin, and there was somebody else. They did a little conference up there. So I talked to Randy last night. And I let him know that I was going live today, but I'm sure by now he's on the road. 12 o'clock in the morning in Australia. Mark Klein, have a split we did in Springs Queen, wasn't doing her thing, so brought her new queen, now plenty of brood. Oh, good, man. I'm glad that worked for you. Randy Zapp, hi from Southern Illinois. Eddie E, good morning. David Lewis, all right, good to hear from you, David. In Northern Vermont, y'all have a flow. Awesome. James Barron, I've had under a half inch of rain in the past 3 months. Very dry, the triple digits. I'm a farmer. Oh, man, I'm so sorry, James. Golly, man, this weather is just killing everything. Silly bees drown in my fountain, even though I provide styrofoam. I like to float pine needles in mine because they're instead of styrofoam where they had to climb up, the pine needles just sit right on top of the surface, and they can at least latch hold onto it, catch their breath, and then climb up. So that's the way I do it. I don't see the labels everyone sent. Oh, that's because I still haven't gotten that project going yet. Thank you, Lamont. Hey, how are you, Gary? Good morning to you. I was actually thinking about you this morning. I may be going out to Oklahoma, so I may be in your neighborhood. Thank you, Revo. Carl, I'll never say that. From Sweden, 21 degrees Celsius, and it's 4:10 in the afternoon. Oh, No Dig Gardner, hello. I use pine needles too. Good. I know plus they're free, huh, Rodney? I had a wonderful harvest year. 500 pounds. That really is a good one. All right, Jose, thank you for checking in. Sleep well, and I hope you have nice buzzing going on in your dreams tonight. Let's see, we're up to 74 people watching. Wow, Tar Heel Bee. Hello. Swarmstead Bees and Gardening. Hey, thank you for stopping in. Swarmstead, where are you from? I know you send comments all the time. Where are you from? Phil RTX Honeybees. Good morning, Mr. Ed. Good morning, Philip. 250 pounds for you, Dave. Awesome. Slow building comb. Advice: you feed your bees, they'll build the comb. That's for sure. Also, wax the frames. You wax your frames, that'll definitely add some more wax to it. Thanks, Suzanne. Thank you. I wish that we could have a little bit more rain too. I got 12 gallons of honey out of my last big cutout. 12 gallons. Wow. Well, I think on Tuesday I'll be doing a cutout as well, and I'm just not I'm not a big fan of doing cutouts right now because the the heat and the dearth. It's just not a good combination for the bees. Thank you, Philip. Philip says to hit that like button. Yeah, I like seeing them thumbs up. The bees, they just don't. The survivability rate of them drops in these hot months when there's no dearth. When there is a dearth, there's nothing to for the bees to gather. Cutting them out stresses them so bad, and it's hard for them to recover from that. But sometimes there's instances like what's going on right now. It's in a apartment complex, and now the hive is aggravating a lot of the people. It's not just in one house or home. It's since there's multiple families living in a very close area, they're a problem with that. So um, I, I'm actually going to go look at the job tomorrow and see. I think on Tuesday, um, I'll probably be doing that. We had 40 degrees Celsius last year on a, but you can tell this year. Well, I'd like to. I'd be happy even if we have 80 degrees Fahrenheit down here. But our temperatures almost every day are hitting 100, 99, 100, 101. It's just and um, it's just miserable. Sawmill Charlie's Bee Farm. I'm near Baltimore, Maryland. Wow, thank you, Charlie. Thanks for stopping in this morning. And and Charlie, I don't remember seeing your avatar. So I don't. Are you new? Because I don't remember seeing your name in the comments. I know a lot of the people I've seen their names. That's how I can recognize some of them. Like the No Dig Gardener. I never knew your name was Suzanne. So hopefully I'll remember that. But so getting back to what I was talking about, want to talk about is just the the drought and the dearth. And what I was saying earlier about the thumbnail that I used on this video right here. Yesterday, I was going around shooting some video on the bees on our water supplies. Now we have a bunch of ponds around here too, but they're also spread around the Abbey. Um, there's a bunch of watering holes, and um, one of the hey Stuffy, um, one of the holes that I always look at. It's a trough. It was an old horse trough on one of the buildings right there, and it's overgrown. There's I think ivy covering it and stuff growing in. There's a lot of algae in the water, and it's shaded, and the bees go there all the time. It's and one of the monks is he's always filling it up for the bees as for anybody else. So that's where that thumbnail came uh, from that trough right there. There must have been 150 bees on it yesterday. MG from Australia. Man, what are you doing up this side? Hey, good morning, Brian. Severe storms. Holy cow, poor guy, poor bees. William Smith, do you have a video on bee nutrition? No, I know I don't do that. You've talked about seeing pollen, nectar, etc. in hives, but I don't know what nutrition the bees are getting from what. Uh, I don't really have a lot of information on on that particular stuff. I just look at what's blooming around during because I'm always looking what's going on outside, things that are growing, and so that's generally how I know what's coming in. But oh, look at that from Brazil. I won't even be able to pronounce it. It's Rodriguez is his last name. Um, so I don't really know a lot about nutrition. There's a lot of more people who know a lot more about that than I do. I'm just not really the right one. Cajun Homestead. I have been lucky this year with the dearth. Farmer planted cotton and soybeans nearby, and the bees are bringing in enough to keep them busy. Oh, lucky you, lucky you. Kenneth Phelps, Mr. Ed, love all the videos on bees. Can't stop watching. Thank you, Kenneth. Oh, good, good. Thank goodness, Brian. I know, because this is your first year with them, so I know they're your little baby girls. Good morning, Lamont. Can you do a safe for cutout bees control a couple of days? Well, I I don't see how that's possible to put bees in any kind of closed-in area to help them acclimate from doing a cutout. I think it's just better just to um, put them outside. I'm looking at the Red Horse William Cayman Rounds has, I think, 2 videos. Oh, good. Thank you, Red Horse, for letting letting us know that. Marie Louise Avertson from Sweden. All right, another Swede. We have had a lot of rain coming down the last few days, so there are problems with cellars being water filled. Oh my goodness. Also, we Swedes love, I don't know what that is. Lagoon, middle way. I don't know what that is. Dawn Spence, good morning. Love your personality. Enjoy watching your videos. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you very much. My bees are sitting on their porch. I got a few on my porch, on their porch too. Gary Baker, good morning. Southwest Minnesota. Oh, I think Mike Barry was just over in your neck of the woods, Gary. Terry Spence. Thought, Jeff, I am a first year beekeeper. I've done exactly the same thing to both my hives. One I got 28 pounds and the other nothing. Queen is still laying, but the colony went up to the soup. Yeah, bees are funny. I wish they all worked the same, but they don't. Sun Hill Studio. Hope to invite you, Mr. Ed, to my future bee. Ooh, man, invite me, invite me. If you're nearby, I'll go. Tar Heel, good morning. Rodney has videos on nutrition too. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Ian's got plenty of videos because he feeds, he does a lot of that stuff. It might be possible, Lamont. It might be possible. I don't know. I really don't know. It may help them, but the best thing is try not to do removals in this kind of weather. Alex, good morning from Manitoba, Canada. All right. Oh, not too little and not too much. Thank you, Marie. Oh, that's what I was saying that earlier. Not related to bees. I see love of God and neighbor in you, and my heart is encouraged. Oh, thanks, Lawrence. Thank you very much. Um, Talking about somebody said in earlier comments that the leaves were falling, and might have been in Vermont. And I was getting ready to say our leaves are falling too, but it's due to the lack of rain. The leaves are dried up and they're falling off the tree, so it's not a good thing. Brian, I can't say that. Good morning from St. Joseph's Island, Ontario, Canada. Wow, awesome. Good morning, Byron. Wait, Robert, you said you were going to bed 10 minutes ago. You need to get to bed. I love the tour you did of the Abbey grounds with Dirt Rooster. Wonderful place. Yeah, that was a great day when Randy came over. We spent like at least 2, if not 3 hours, just riding around the trails in the back. In fact, um, the video that I'll be posting on next Friday, I start the video off. I'm actually walking on one of those trails, walking to the honey house. So it's the trails they're really nice. I mean, in that area it's still green, so it's all comfortable. Good morning, Catherine from Northern California. Yo no, my favorite beekeeper. Oh goodness, I'm allergic to bees, but I notice when they are used to you, they don't bother you. I want a clear hive and to keep only a few bees. I don't know how you can keep only a few bees because you have a beehive, it's going to have 5, 10,000 bees in it. So if you only want a few bees, it's probably just best to set up some honey water or something. Let the bees come and feed on it. You just go enjoy them. That'd be a great thing to do. You started making blueberry mead. I know they got some monks that want me to make the mead. I'm still resisting. Barbara Bagley, good morning. Central Kansas. Yeah, that's a few. Yeah. So let me come on, ask me some questions. I can visit for a little while this morning, at least an hour. So a few bees equals 100,000 bees. Well, I think that's more than a few, but that's only really 100,000. That's only 4 hives, 5 hives. That's not really that many. How many people got? 85 people watching. Wow, pretty good, man. Are you still catching swarms? Well, other than that one I caught, like I don't think it's 3 weeks ago. No, no. I, I really don't think I'm gonna be catching anymore. But who knows? They always those abscon. At this time of year when your bees leave, somebody might call me and might go get them. How often do you get a hive or swarm with multiple queens? Uh, During swarm season, the later it gets during swarm season, that's when the likelihood of multiple queens in that swarm going up. In early part of a swarm season, like um, uh, for in February and March, it's almost always just a single queen in there. So I love those early ones, which are always going to be your best ones anyway. And I've gotten honey off of some of those early swarms a number of times. So I love the early swarms. Catherine, can I put a queen cell in a hive that may be a laying worker colony? Now, if you've got a laying worker, she's going to kill that queen cell. She's not going to let that one go. She'll kill it. Um, there's a number of ways that I've been told to clear a laying worker. You take the hive and you dump all the contents out, 100 feet away from it, and put the box back. And the laying worker, she can't walk that way. She can't fly anymore, so she can't walk that way. And that's one of the ways. But I don't know of any really good way of getting rid of a laying worker. It's a dead hive in my opinion. If you are a brother in the Abbey, nope, I'm not a monk. I had discerned becoming a monk for 12 years, and then I met Mona, and she changed my life. So no, I'm not a monk, but I've been a volunteer working at the Abbey in all kinds of their cottage industries. Now going on 14 years now, so it's a great relationship I have with the monks. In fact, this office right here is I'm in my office at the Abbey. Love the videos, learning a lot. Keep it up. Sure will, Dwayne. Sure will. Thank you very much. Do you see Yappy's last video? I sure did. That was a great video. And in fact, Yappy already was on earlier this morning. He left a comment, and I said a little stuff about Yappy's video. Uh, that was a very good video, and like I said earlier, the we had done one similar. The Rooster, JP and Shawi did one several years ago, probably about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, it might be 4 years now. Um, and had the same situation. We had about 15 or 18 swarm cells, and um, we had queens emerging. In fact, I posted 2 videos on that, the queens emerging and the video with all of us together. And then another thing, that video was responsible for Mona meeting me because she saw me on that video. And that's how it all started, was that video. Many years watches, first time comment. Okay, Peter, good. I remember the sadness of your hives washing away, and now you in the drought. Oh my goodness. Well, it'll all work out in the wash, Peter. It'll all work out. I'm curious to see how it's going to work out and how the bees are going to do. I'm just kind of like riding out, just like everybody else in our area. Mama bee bears. I've always loved bees for the work they do, but never would have known I'd find what you do is so fascinating. Well, for me, Suzanne, the reason it's so fascinating is because I see the hand of God in it, and that's what makes it new for me every time. Because every time, that's what I'm looking at. Say, look at this, another wonder of God's creation. Robin Jones, first-year beekeeper, have lots of dead bees in front of the hive that have honey in the hives, wondering what's going on. Sounds to me like it's robbing going on. It sounds to me. I mean, I couldn't. That's just a guess, but you've got dead bees in the front. I would imagine that's from fighting going on. Have you got any Irish ancestors? Probably so. Probably so. Our family really, it's Russian and German, but French and because I actually have a brother that's named Sean, so we must have something in there. Knacker 2, 97 in Central Florida. I saw a weather report down there that one of the buoys around Key West, one of those weather buoys, at 5 foot under the water, the temperature was 101 degrees. That is just unbelievably hot for water. And one of our biggest worries here in Louisiana and all, southern United States, eastern United States is hurricanes and the high water, warmer water temperatures encourage hurricane activity. But thankfully, our hurricane season is pretty dormant right now. But it's actually for us, it's the most active time from middle of August to really end of September is the highest peak hurricane activity. But thankfully, they have a lot of that desert sand coming across the Atlantic Ocean, which is really squishing all that stuff. So we all have our fingers crossed, and we're praying a lot. We don't want any hurricanes. Hey, Jeremy. Good morning, Jeremy. Good morning, Mr. Nobody G. Great to have you on to this morning. There you go. There's a good one from Rodney. Listen to him, Catherine. What do you do with your hives then? I missed this other part. Yeah, I think so too, Micah. I think so as well. Lawrence, I'm not a beekeeper yet, but we like to put out bee feeders with very good. Many hundreds of bees show up. Is there any reason not to do it? No, not at all. You're not hurting the bees by putting out community feeders. You're feeding all the bees in your area. So yeah, and what's really nice is you get to go enjoy that because as the bees are feeding, they're not interested in you. So you can get real close to them and man, you can get some nice video or pictures of them feeding, see their little tongues coming out. Yeah. How's the heat there, Jeremy? Jeremy wanted me, he and I were supposed to do a cutout when I was in Conroe a couple of months back. And the temperature that day was 100, I think it was 101 or 102, you said, Jeremy? He still wound up doing it. Mona wound up getting, oh, there it is. Yeah, I can't remember. And we had to come home. So we never did make it. So don't worry, Jeremy, we are going to be doing it. I'm waiting for your rest of your comment, Suzanne. During hurricanes, what? Do you feed sugar water? Nope, I don't. I don't feed our bees. Are the bees over there the same as European bees? I, I guess they're just a mix of all kind of stuff. That's what I call our bees, mongrel bees or Heinz 57 bees. I don't really know their specific species or genus. I don't know any of that stuff. Hey, thank y'all for answering other people's comments because I can't read everybody's, but I do appreciate the help that you all offer other people. That was one of um, the things I loved about our bee club and most of the bee clubs that I attend is that there isn't a specific agenda for a certain group of people or persons in the group. Everyone is willing to help everybody else. And so I do appreciate all those folks answering questions that I'm not answering. So I do appreciate that very much. See that? Rodney calls his mutts as well. Now, one of the things I did, another thing I wanted to do, 65 degrees, golly, I love some of that. Well, Mona puts that at the house temperature at night, so I guess I get it every night. No, not 65, but she does do it at, I think, 72. Well, Ryan, I always say that the world needs as many beekeepers as it can get. So join us. Scott, what bee clubs are you part of in St. Tammany? I go to the one in Abita Springs. Um, I think that's the Tammany group. And then I also go to the one in Franklinton, which is the Washington St. Tammany um, bee club. And the one in Abita meets in the town hall, and the one in Franklinton meets at the Ag Center up there. Brian, if my wife and I find ourselves around your area, does the Abbey allow visitors? Yes, the Abbey does allow visitors. So if anybody would like to come visit here at the Abbey and visit me at the Abbey, in the description of this video right here, I show a number of ways you can get in touch with me. My email, my address here, and my address here at the Abbey. Contact me if you all would like to come to the Abbey, say hello. I'd love to see that. In fact, I've got somebody coming next week that's coming. Get in touch with me beforehand, and that way I can make sure that I'll be here. Good morning, Lee. So are you working a crane right now? Because I know it's Sunday, but you're at work. Um, uh, get in touch with me beforehand, and man, I definitely show um, uh, the Abbey what we do, the job that I do here at the Abbey, both here at the wood shop and at the honey house as well. Hello, David from Alton, Missouri Bee Company. Watched your video, the Discovery Channel featured. Dang, you look young. Did you? I don't. I can't even remember the name of that series that was on. That video was on, but it was something about animals taking over some people's houses and stuff. And this was one of them, was the bees taking over these one. It was a trail, and so that's how that video got in there. Ed Bergeron. I've been to the Abbey, worth a visit. Ed and Ralph were gracious hosts. Ed been to the Abbey, so you see, you all can come too. Corroded Sanity from Odessa, Texas. Oh, wow. Corroded Sanity. Captain Ryan. Yeah, so, man, I'd love to have y'all come up, Brian. I mean, with being a airline pilot like you are, man, y'all should have all kind of frequent flyer miles. Huh? Get to go where y'all want. How many health hives at the Abbey now? We don't keep all of our hives on the Abbey property, so we have about 9 or 10 other out yards. But all total, it's somewhere between 160, 170, 180, something like that, hives out there. Charlie and I are going to, when we get a little break from the weather, we're going to go out there and do assessments on our hives. I saw Mike, world famous Mike Barry. He just posted a video on assessing his hives after the harvest, and I'm sure I'll find what he found. A few dead outs from the weaker ones. So it's something that I've got to do, but I'm not going out in this heat. What we're trying to do is go earlier in the morning, about 6 o'clock in the morning. That way we can be finished by 9 and it's done. Corroded Sanity. I have 3 hives here at work, and we get the mesquite honey. Wow. Yeah, I've tasted mesquite honey. I've had people send it to me, and yeah, it is good. How cold does it get in winter? Does it ever snow? Last time it snowed, I made a video on it. I think it was in, oh heck, I can't remember. December. I don't remember the year now. I don't remember, but I actually did make a video of it at the Abbey. And so if you ever want to see snow at the Abbey, and it was a beautiful snow thing, snow event. and I shot a lot of videos. It's like about a 4-minute video, just showing all the snow on the Abbey. It's very, very unusual for that to happen. And our winters are very mild. Our bees fly all year round. Jamie Bryce, what's your thoughts of the Killer Bee Guy channel? You know, the guy is doing a service. I'm I don't want to. I don't agree with killing bees, but I'm not the one living out there and living with the situation that the bees are doing out there. So I I don't have an opinion um, on that, but I know there's a lot of people in California, Texas, that's all they have are Africanized bees, and they raise Africanized bees. They make a lot of honey. So there's still bees. And what the guy does out there, that's his business. It's not mine. I don't have an opinion of that. I have found a good 5 to 8 with ants this year. Okay, I missed something. Do you use software to keep track of hives? No, I don't. I don't. I know they have all that sophisticated stuff, but Mr. Ed's a very simple guy, and I'm lucky if I can use a smartphone. 110 to 115 in Arizona. Oh my goodness. The only thing I know about Arizona beekeeping is that the Abbey Beehive, their company is in Arizona, and that's what they use, are the insulated beehives, and they do very well with theirs. You ought to go to their Abbey's website and 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 look into that about high temperature heats, because I don't our heat, we have a high humidity, so it's a different kind of heat than theirs. But I do have an Apimaye hive, and the bees that I have in it, they do very well. It was a swarm I caught this year, and I'll be pulling honey off of them. I've got a honey super on right now, and I know there's honey in it, and that was from the swarm this year. So I do love their hives. They're expensive, but I do love them. What's the smallest interest you've seen on a huge hive? About a hole about 3/8 by 3/8, and that's why I keep my um, entrances all small, 1/2 inch, 3/8 by 3/8. That's it. I like a small entrance. That's all that I think that the bees need. No long hives. We have one here at the Abbey, and I have one in my house as well. Charlie made me a long hive, and then I built a layers hive here. Yeah, I do have some bearding on my Apme as well. In fact, yesterday I saw them. There was probably about 50 of them out there yesterday. So I mean, they still beard on it, but man, they do well. And I plus, man, it's a fine looking hive. Yeah, there's all kind of tricks that we can do to add a little insulation, especially on the top, like you said, David. I, I will do an update date on the long hive. I might do a combo and the one here at the Abbey, because that one we did the cutout and it was a huge cutout, and I had a lot of the bees left the hive, and it reduced down to, I think I've got about 5 or 6 frames in there. They're doing really well, but the one at the house, that was a swarm that Charlie gave me last year. I'm getting ready to go put some frames in. So I'll probably shoot some video on that, adding those frames in there and showing you an update on that hive. It really is, that hive is rocking and rolling. I did a split on it last year. That split is out at the yard at the house too, but they're in a Langstraw. Great talking to you too, and enjoy your dinner. So as I'm waiting to see, I know I missed a lot of your comments. Um, uh, so while I have the other people, look at Lee. Everybody's worried about your back. Lee's got sciatic problems right now. So I talked to Lee yesterday. Was it yesterday? The day before I called him and talked to him because what I really Lee is going to help me set up the office where I can now do my broadcast better. Because right now I just use my laptop, and hopefully I can get a lot better. And Lee is like an expert at that. So world famous Mike Barry and I, we're going to take a ride up there and and see Lee and see if we can get some expert advice from him. Julie loves hockey. Good morning. Having 160, 100, how far do they need to travel to get what they need through the summer? They Most of the bees they because we the hives are located in areas pretty much big tracts of woods, 300, 500, 120 acres. Most of them, the Abbeys, 1,200 acres. So there's enough foraging for them where they don't have to travel far, and all of them have very nearby water sources, ponds, particularly ponds, since they're all big areas. So most properties have a big pond on them, and so the bees have water access very good. From under the lift, the beehive house this year, I think I only got it was either 4 or 5 from them this year. I actually got more hives from my place in Covington. I think I got 6 from that one. And thank you, Marie Louise. Thank you for coming by, and thanks for watching too. I love Cody's lab. It's been so long since I've seen one of Cody's videos. Golly, it's been he was one of the first ones that I started to watch. So I'm waiting for some other comments. Oh, look at that, Savannah 505. Yeah, I know. I still owe you a jar of honey. I know that. I know that. I read that. Thanks for joining in this morning. Is it as hot there as it is in Florida? Yes, it is. You may have to shave that beard to stay cool. No, I'm staying in the air conditioning to stay cool. But I am going this week. I'm getting all this cut off and a lot of this cut off too. I'm not going to shave it up, but I like it. From Northern California, Michael Dales. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. So I every abbey has its own post office. In fact, every abbey has its own zip code. And so we have our post office right here, but I don't go to the post office maybe once a week. I might go, and usually it's on Friday that I go over there. Um, no, I don't want to be Santa. uh, uh, and so I went on Friday, and I got a couple of things. In fact, I'm going to talk about that. I got 2 letters, and both of these letters contained. Let's see. Can y'all see that? Honey labels. There you go. It's a note. I enjoy all the videos and being able to visit the Abbey. Thank you and God bless, Roy. So this is from Roy Welsh. He sent me, these are his honey labels. These are nice. Black Rock Bee Company. I got those. And I got a letter. And look at how pretty that one is. And that one's from, I can't read the name. I think it's Kevin Edge. Yes, I think that's from Kevin Edge. Look how pretty that is. So My plan, my plan is to um, Mona's going to come over here, and one of our walls in our honey house, she is going to put a finish on it that um, it'll be a honeycomb finish, much similar to the pattern behind it on the quilt right there, except larger hexagon shapes. And the labels that people send me will be placed on that wall. So it still is it's a project that I'm still collecting um, labels for that project. So if you would like to send me your label, and I really wish you would send me a label, uh, I'm going to have plenty of space on the wall for your label, and I'd love to have it displayed on the wall. I'd rather your honey label than getting a jar of honey, because I have enough honey. I love that people send me honey, and I love tasting different kinds of honey. And sometimes people send me honey, and when I taste it, I said, "Man, I wish I could get only this kind of honey." But I'd rather have the label. So please send me your labels. Uh, it's a lot cheaper to send me your label than it is to send me honey. But I do appreciate the folks that send me honey. In fact, when a lot of times when I go to conferences or meetings, people will give me their honey, and I do appreciate it. I really do. And I've got two shelves here in the office full of honey. I've got the whole shelf at the honey house full of honey, and I can't eat all that honey because I eat a lot of the honey for myself. So thank you for the honey, but send me your labels, please. I'd love to hand you labels. And again, the address for if you want to send me a label is in the description of this video. Another one of the letters that I received this week was from Alice Majors from Cherry Valley, California, and she wanted me to send her some honey. So that's what I'll do. So she sent. I love getting the letters from you, especially like when you send me your labels. Don't just send me a letter. Send me a little something about your honey operation, your bees, because eventually I have plans on making a video just on that, on all the people that have sent me their labels and the letters in it, because the stories about your story about how you keep bees, I find so fascinating and interesting. And so many of those letters are really heartwarming letters. I mean, I, I've got so many, but like one of them from the top of my head, I remember is from a little 10-year-old kid, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name. Um, uh, he has one hive. It's a flow hive, and he sells his honey from his flow hive, and it's a great story. I love it. I'll probably read his letter one of these days because it's he wrote it, and it's all printed. It's a beautiful letter. So send me your story along with your label because it it's just so nice when I see and hear other people's journey of their beekeeping experience, because this everyone's journey is unique and special to them. And for you to share that your story with me, I feel honored and privileged that you do it. But for those of you who want some of our Abbey honey, well, that information on how you can get that is also in the description of this video too. It tells you the shipping cost, what it is, and all that stuff, and I can ship it out to you. Now, the unfortunate part is we did not have a very good honey harvest this year. In fact, in all the years that I've been doing it, except from the very beginning, it was probably it is the worst one. We wound up with about 80 something gallons, which is about a quarter of what we would normally get. Normally we're 400 gallons. So 80 gallons is not a lot. But fortunately, I still have honey from 2 seasons ago. It's all crystallized, but I'm decrystallizing it, and then we'll be selling that as well. So the honey you get, it's going to be Abbey honey, but it more than likely is going to be even a vintage honey. It'll be honey that's 2 years old. So if you like some of that, if you'd like some of that stuff, you can send me a letter and we'll get you take care. All right, wait, let me see what Savannah's saying. When I go back to India, I'm going to look for some really special honey to send you. So Savannah has sent me over the years, I'm telling you, he must have sent me 30 pounds of honey. And I've used, and a lot of his honey has come from the Northwest United States, but some from different parts of the world as well. But he has sent me some of the most interesting tasting honey I've ever tasted in my life. And so very often, and I still have those bottles, they're small bottles. Very often I'll use those bottles in honey tasting to show the different flavors. And they're not infused. It's not infused honey that he's sending me. This is real honey from bees. And one of the most striking ones that I remember is a cinnamon tasting honey that he sent me. Oh my goodness, that stuff. And I still have a tiny bit of that left, but that one, I always use that in my, when I do honey tasting, because it's a big favorite. It wasn't 30 pounds. Yes, it was. It was like 30 pounds. And he sent me some, in fact, I still have it, the bag of pink salt that he sent me too. So that's over there. Where you all at? I'm in Netherlands. Oh my goodness. So we are in Southeast Louisiana. I'm about 50 miles north of New Orleans, and it's really hot up here or down here. Hey, I would love to try the honey that came out of King Tut's comb. That's right. 2,000 years of honey. That stuff is good. I bet that stuff is real good. Tim Sears, how do you get the different types of honey? I I don't know how they do that, but it has to be like I have a buddy in New York, Tom Wilkes, and he sells his honey as rooftop honey or zip code honey, and it's all rooftop beehives in New York City. And it's zip code honey because each building has its own zip code. And so the honey that he harvests from that building, that's all he sells. So its taste is distinctive from other ones. So that is the only way that I really know to get different tasting honeys is to take one hive and take the honey from that one hive, and then that would be the hive. But like ours, we blend it. It's all blended from all of ours. I did make one exception this year. One of our guys that we keep bees on his property, he's been asking me for years, Jeff, would you please just keep our honey and give me some of our honey? So I made an exception to it, and I ran his honey very first. It was his honey, so it was unmixed. So he's going to get a very special batch. But there was only only pulled 2 boxes off his property, so it was only like 6 gallons, 7 gallons. It wasn't very much. So it was piddle. Last year we pulled like 20 boxes off his property, but this year it wasn't good. So anyway, Andy's going to get a special batch, very special. I have raspberry and dandelion. No idea how they did that, but they are very different. So let's see. Anybody? All right. So one of the other things that when I went and I checked the mail on Friday, I got a package. Look at this. And I haven't even opened it yet. It's from Hamburg Honey in Athens, Wisconsin. So let's find out what Hamburg Honey, and I'm thinking it is going to be honey, but we shall see. We shall see. It feels kind of light to be honey because usually honey weighs a lot more than this. I know it's wrapped very well, so it very well may be honey. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a note. Let's see what the note says first. My wife and I enjoy your videos. I want to send you some of our basswood honey. Now, I've eaten basswood honey, and that stuff is delicious. We have 40 hives here in central Wisconsin. Mike and Lori Lawrence. Let's see what it is. Woo, look how pretty this is. Wow. All right. We got to do a taste on this one. Come on, we got to. Because I have tasted the basswood honey, and I do. Let's smell it first. Oh yeah, it's got kind of like a soury smell to it. I know this is kind of gross, guys, but sorry. Oh, I'm gonna bring this one home. That is excellent. Mona's gonna love this one. So I can take another dip. Woo! Wow. Thank you so much. Golly. So now I need to get one of your labels as well, Mike. You got to send me your label too. You got me your honey. Now I need your label. Thank you very much. Very good. Look, I love the color of this. So clear. Our honey, it's so dark compared to this. Beautiful. That's almost like water. In fact, that's what the Mississippi water looks like. Mississippi River looks like. Excellent. Woo! I've tasted basswood honey, so I know what that tastes like. Very good. Your bees did a really great job. Thank you very much for that. So let's see. Did I miss any questions? Can you have a smell? Yeah, I wish they would put that smell-o-ram on this stuff too. Man, it smells. The taste is better than it smells. I'm telling you that there's an aftertaste on this that, man, it's just unique. Very unique taste. What is your trademark honey flower? For us in Louisiana, it's tallow tree, Chinese tallow. That's where our honey comes from. Is most of our honey crop comes from is from the tallow tree, and that's what got killed during that freak freeze in March. It got all of our. Do you like tupelo? Yes, I love tupelo. I've tasted that. You wouldn't believe how many different types of honey I've tasted. Mona is going to love that honey. That is one of the perks that I have with the YouTube channel is that people send me honey, and I probably tasted more honey than most people, and I've had honey from Saudi Arabia. I'm trying to think the really exotic ones. Philippines, South America, Brazil. I don't think I've tasted from Hawaii, and I know I've tasted plenty of the macadamia honey. I never had any of that. I don't think any of that. I don't know that monkey honey. I forget what that stuff is called. But I've tasted so many different types of honey, and that's one of the reasons why it's like you keep sending it to me, and I can't eat it all. So, but that one's going home with me. That she's gonna love that one. She'll probably have that thing gone in another week. Well, I'm gonna help her too because that's got a great taste. Avocado honey. I that's a new one. I have not had avocado honey. That's the one, Manuka. That's the kind of honey that I've never tasted Manuka honey, so I don't know. What do you think about Manuka? I want to taste it. I want to taste something because that isn't that supposed to be like the most expensive kind of honey? I sent you saffron honey. I don't remember. You sent me so many. I don't remember all the ones you sent me. So what else? What else do we have they deployed the bugs to kill the tallows yet? Now, as far as I know, that still is uh, they're still debating that. Um, there's legislation trying to pass it's like a Chinese beetle that will attack and kill the tallow trees, and um, because the Chinese tallow is an invasive tree, and the uh, forestry people they don't like it because when they clear cut, the tallow take over, and then they can't. $10 an ounce for manuka honey. Um, the tallow tree take over these clear cut areas even before they come in seeded with pine. So it's a big problem for the wood industry, but for beekeepers, man, we love it because it's our honey. It's where we get the majority of our honey from. Let's see, we had 106 people have watched so far. I don't know how many people are on right now, but judging from the this I bought an 8 ounce of manuka honey for $189. Gee whiz! Super rare saffron and manuka is made from a tree flower. I don't know what the manuka is made from. My fear is after the bugs kill all the tallow. Yeah, I know. It's like here in Louisiana, they imported the nutria to take care of the grass and stuff down in South Louisiana, and they're everywhere in Louisiana. It's just like the pythons in Florida. It's any kind of species. Once it gets out, it's out, and then no telling what happens with it. So when there's talk about introducing a species, to me, that's always like a scary prospect. Manuka comes from the manuka flower and only grows in New Zealand. It's very creamy. I wonder how fast it crystallizes. Sourwood honey is high in dollar. Well, it sure tastes like it's high in dollar. Bobby Greenleaf, hello, first timer. Love all your videos. Oh, thank you, Bobby. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hello, Heather from Melbourne, Australia. Isn't it kind of late in Australia right now, Heather? Uh-huh. So Mona's gonna love that sourwood honey as well. All right. So are there any questions? Now we got a break so I can read at the comments. So if you have a question, now would be a good time to throw one in because I could read it. 1 o'clock in Australia. Oh my goodness. There's no telling reason, Justin, why there's hello Art. Why there's a lack of bees. Golly, there in your area. There could be so many reasons for that. Um, it there's there, I couldn't even begin to tell you that the reasons why. What do you do against hive beetles? Um, I don't do anything about hive beetles. Now, some yards I have where they're so bad, I actually do put beetle traps in the box. Other than that, the bees have to take care of them themselves. And the best policy I have about doing anything about them is not going into the hive and releasing the beetles once they've got them trapped up. Can you swarms in a brand new box. Can you catch swarms in a brand new box? Sure, you can. I do everything I can to make it as old smelling as you can. Take beeswax, spread it around on the inside, melt some in there. Use old bee comb and spread it around there. Put old brood comb in there, and then lemongrass oil or some other kind of attractant. But sure, you can catch swarms in a new trap. Eddie Vashona. Hey, Eddie. Just one. So Eddie is he lives right here in the area by us. In fact, Eddie's come to the Abbey several times. I knew his uncle real well, and Eddie's a pretty new beekeeper. Great to have you along, Eddie. I have a grumpy hive. They are currently queenless. Should I let them requeen themselves? Uh, you know, that's your own call. And grumpy hives are it it's not necessarily uh, the queen because she's only 50% related. So if it were me, I would leave it alone. That's how I would do it. I would let them requeen on their own and find out what you get. That's just me. Hey, good morning, Bob. Good morning. You're kind of late joining in. Lee's been here for at least half an hour. What can we do to help bees in our backyards? Right now, I think the great thing that you can do either really is just put out water for them. Put out water for them, and then make sure that they'll be able to. They won't drown in it. Put something in there so they can climb onto it or something like that. But for me, the easiest thing that people can do for bees right now, put out water, and especially in what we're going through. Yeah, make sure you tell everybody hello, Bob. They've been wondering where you were. They saw Lee on here and say, "Where's Bob?" A former NYPD detective turned beekeeper. All right, congratulations, Bob. How long you been doing that? Not the detective work, but the beekeeping. Like I said, my buddy Tom Wilkes, he's up there in New York City, and he keeps bees right underneath on top of the uh, uh, buildings. Is colony collapse still a major problem? I haven't heard much about it. I really haven't. So I couldn't say. Have you ever planted crops, especially for bees? Nope, not me. I haven't done it, but um, a lot of the yards that we keep bees at, they grow things, so they do that. I don't know. They want the bees there for pollination purpose. That's why sleeping in. Yeah, sleeping in because you're staying so late talking on your show, huh, Bob? Let's see. We've been on for an hour and 13 minutes. Let's go another 15 minutes, and we'll call it a day because everybody's got things to do, and so do I. And I can hardly wait to take that honey home. Let Mona taste it. It dropped 2 degrees. You lucky guy. Ica sells these clay pellets. Yeah, that's right. So little rocks are really good to put in those things for watering bees. For me, I use pine straw. I just throw in some pine straw on top of it. That way they can walk on the pine straw. Are you doing a show in the East, like Kentucky or Tennessee? Well, I am I am going to the expo, the North American Honeybee Expo, and that'll be in Louisville, Kentucky. Um, that one is January the 4th through the 6th. In fact, I I called Cayman the other day and asked him how were the ticket sales going on that thing. The tickets went on sale 8 days ago, and they've already sold. I think he said 1,400 of them already have been sold in 8 days. I I think that he's hoping to get about 2,500 people there. It may be more than that, but at 1,400 in 8 days, if you plan on going to Cayman's conference, the expo in Louisville, Kentucky in January, if you have any thoughts about going to that, you really um, need to get your tickets soon because they are going to be sold out. That event is going to be sold out, and then you'll have to go on a waiting list, and then you'll be lucky if you get a ticket for that. The good thing is there's a lot of good things about getting your ticket early from the expo because the good thing is if you wind up not being able to go, they will buy your ticket back. They may be a service fee for it, but you won't lose all your money if you can't go. The other, I think, the really one of the best parts about attending the conference is there are so many vendors that go there. I think right now there's at least 90 going there, and and almost every single one of the vendors offers discounts, conference show discounts, expo discounts. And if you're planning on buying an extractor, a separator, a bottle, or some kind of expensive piece of equipment, very often the price of um, the price of the ticket is offset by what you're going to buy by the purchase that you make. So that's how good the discounts are. And to be able to attend that expo and to see the people there, it's just such a high level of energy. It's awesome, and it's all beekeepers wanting to talk bees. I mean, who doesn't want to be around that? So yeah, get your ticket now if you plan on going. If you think on planning on going. Peter Zelf from the Netherlands. All right. Why did you adopt the name of the talking horse? That's probably like the most asked question that I get. Um, uh, oh yeah, if Cayman and I talked about doing a class, so it'll happen one day. It'll happen, but uh, why Mr. Ed? And that name actually came from when I was a mailman. That name was given to me the day I started working at the Mandeville Post Office. And the tradition of that office was that any new person coming in, they're assigned a name. They're just given a name. You never were called by your real name. And since my last name was Horchoff, you can see if you can extrapolate horse trough out of it. And so horse, Mr. Ed is a talking horse. And then when you look at them snags, yep, those are all my teeth. That's all natural stuff. They kind of look like a horse's teeth. So Mr. Ed, it was like a perfect fit for my name. And I mean, I was called Mr. Ed from day one until 27 years later, I retired. And when I retired, and then I started the YouTube channel, I really loved the name so much. I said, I don't want to be called Jeff on my YouTube. I want it still Mr. Ed. So that's why Mr. Ed. And I still love the name today as much as I did, what is it now, 30, 35, 40 years ago that I first got it. So it's a wonderful name. Dr. Victor, wow, I can't believe that you're joining me this morning. So Dr. Vic, he's an entomologist, and you got to go look at his YouTube channel. He's in the Ukraine, but I'll put Dr. Vic. I'll put your info on the description of this video right here. So if people want to go look at you, they can. Because this guy, he's not just a bee guy. He is an entomologist. He is a bug guy. But golly, fascinating stuff. I've watched several of his videos, and For a guy in the Ukraine, you speak very, very good English. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, Doc. Thank you very much. I love that you all are talking to each other in this thing. That's awesome. That's great. It really is. Hey, that's good. We got 117 thumbs up for an hour and 20 minutes. So that's a thumbs up for every minute. Very good, people. Thank you all. Hey, Dr. Vic, would you put in your YouTube how they can find you on YouTube, please? And then I'll put that in the description as well. How often do I go live? It's never planned. It's when I say, man, you know what? I want to talk about this, but I don't want to talk about it on video, so I go live. So I think the last time I went live was the 4th of July. So maybe once a month I go live. It's just an opportunity for most of the people that either don't get to see me in at a conference. If there's a chance now that they can actually leave a question, and I might be able to answer it, or somebody else will answer it for you. But at least you'll see me live. So it's about once a month. Oh, good for you, Peter. Good for you. I always and I've already said it already this morning, but I always say that the world needs as many beekeepers as it can get. And I mean, because the bees play such an important role in our very survival, is their role as pollinators, um, that we need to have bees. So it's a great thing. That anybody would want to become a beekeeper. And yeah, there's always that fear of bees sting. Yeah, they sting, but there's something, people that want to become beekeepers, they they're just different. Because that getting stung is it's irrelevant to the benefits, the pleasure that you get from keeping bees. I agree with you, Mike. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, well, nobody. Gee, we got some young people coming in to become beekeepers. It's always encouraging. In fact, I it was probably been a year now, but I had a couple of people. I can't remember what state they came from now, but their son and their daughter, they got right in there. There was no fear with them kids, and they got right in there, and they were framing up comb. They were standing right next to me when I'm vacuuming bees. They didn't have a suit on. They were just loving just being around bees. So those are the kind of kids that, man, when you see that, man, it's like what you see, the work that you do with bees, and if you can inspire others to share that love, man, that is a great thing. Julie loves hockey. Do many beekeepers live in residential areas? Oh, sure, yeah, lots of them do it incognito. They keep their bees in their fenced off backyard so people don't know about it. But I know even in my area, um, that people have small subdivisions have one hive, two hives in their backyard. I'm 32 with two colonies that did amazing this year. All right, going for 4 to 6. Yeah, they have a way of growing, don't they? Yeah, that's the truth, David. Do you mind ever get stung? You mean today? That's that's really true. That's a lot of people when they ask me that question. Did you get stung? And I said, not today yet, but I haven't been out there. Yeah. Ronald French, I'm one of those 8 colonies. I'm glad you're one of them. Yep, I know they do, Brian. I know they do. All right, 5 more minutes, folks. 5 more minutes. Awesome message, Dr. Vic. Awesome message. And there is so much support for Ukraine here in the United States. God bless you, brother. Highland honey. My grandsons, ages 4 and 8, like to stand by the hives and watch the different colors of pollen coming in. No suit. Oh man, they're going to be some good beekeepers. Wow. In 1 year, you did that good, David? Wow. So now I'm just reading y'all's comments. Come on, ask a question. You got a chance. I'm looking. I don't know how many people are still watching. I know the dirt rooster didn't show up because he's on the road right now. What? Gilly's Gold got my 16th swarm on Friday. How many did you get? So right now I'm at 21, just like the dirt rooster. Both we're tied right now. Thank you, Lamont. God bless you too, brother. Mr. Ed, have you having high beetle issues this year? Not too bad in most of them, but I have come across some of my hives. Uh, 3 or 4 of them in particular. When I opened them up, I'm telling you, there were literally hundreds of them in there. And so those, I actually do put beetle traps in those. Keep out of politics and just do bees. Right. Saw the dirt rooster yesterday in St. Louis. I talked to him. That's a great question because I actually wondered that myself, Doc. Is the bees actually prefer the stagnant water, stuff that's growing in it, as opposed to fresh water? I don't know why, but that's why there's more bees in that horse trough than on the other water source because they change the water all the time, and that one gets changed maybe once a week. Why they like it like that? I don't know. You're the answer. You're the entomologist, Doc. I don't know the answer to why they like it. I suppose it's for minerals. Is why they prefer that. Yeah. See, Micah thinks so too. DCBs. Happy Sunday to you too, brother. What do you think about housing bees inside in the northern climate where it gets cold? I think it's a great idea. Um, Plenty of Canadian beekeepers do it, and a lot of people in the Dakotas, they do it as well. They house their bees. They overwinter them in warehouses because it gets too doggone cold. So yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, for me here in the South, I think bees do better under the cover of a roof, just a lean-to roof. Just that much difference makes a difference in what the bees how they live. I think it makes it easier for them. They're not combating all of the elements as if they were in full sunlight or something like that. How is your wall with the logos of honey farms coming along? Well, we're still working on it, Peter. And as soon as you get your honey label, send it to me so I can put it up on the wall as well. They, if you look uh, at the history of beekeeping, particularly in Europe, like in Switzerland, they have these beautiful Victorian houses where they just keep bees. That's where their bees live in those houses. And I've seen pictures of these things are just like ornate, beautiful, beautiful buildings, and they're just for bees. So it's not anything new. Keeping bees indoors, and they actually work the bees inside of the building. There's a little space, and the hives are on each side of the building, and they work them from the inside. How often do I need to enter the hive? For me, I don't. It's rare for me to go into the hives. 2 or 3 times a year, and that's it for me. When I do splits, when I collect honey, that's really the only 2 times. Other than that, they're on their own. Can bee boxes be kept in a wooden area? So it really, for me, I always keep mine right on the edge of a tree line. The faces of the hive face east, so that the morning light, by noontime they're already in the shade, and in the hottest part of the day they're in the shade. So there's a lot of different thoughts on how to keep bees, but I prefer to keep mine right on the edge of a tree line so that they can get the benefit of the shade in the afternoon. When do you do splits? I do my splits. I begin almost in the beginning of February. By the second week in February, I'm doing splits generally, because I want to do my splits and be finished with them as early as I can, because I'm interested in growing the bees as early as they can get, build up the numbers, and um, and then so I can get honey. But you can't get ahead of the bees to do the splits. You can't split them too early because you'll only hurt yourself and the bees. So it's a watch game. There's a lot of looking going on. So come February, when I start making the videos on that again, you'll see how I do it and when I do it. All right, so we're at an hour and 31 minutes. Um, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So I thank everybody for joining me this morning for this little morning chat. It's always a pleasure to see all you wanting to talk with me and ask questions, and all the questions that are asked that I can't answer. How many people are responding to those, giving information on that? So everybody, you all have a great day. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. God bless. I'm out of here, guys. Thank you all very, very much.